Welcome, everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Frank Sidora, and I'm the Director of Strategic Business Accounts for ABB. And first, we want to welcome everyone and hope everyone is healthy and safe during these most challenging times. And on behalf of all of us at ABB, we want to thank everyone for taking the time to join us today to discuss how we can help you get through today with an eye on tomorrow. Now, at this time, I would like to introduce Tom Burke, our CEO. And Tom, you want to lead us off, please?
Yeah. Hey, Frank. Good afternoon, everyone. Just so excited to be on this call this afternoon. I'm looking at the number of attendees, and we've got 256 or 7 that are on the call right now, and it's going up by the second. And so I guess first off, I hope everybody's doing well, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you and your interest in what we're doing and just spending time with us here this afternoon. It's humbling to have such a big turnout, but really excited to share with you some of the things that we're doing here at ABB. This has been an amazing wake-up call for us at ABB, and I think probably if you were truthful, you'd say it's been an amazing wake-up call for all of us in this industry, especially the doctors out in the communities. And I'm going to hand this over to Erica Jurens here, but I thought it was really important that I shared with you that, when we brought Erica in to run our strategy and commercial operations group over a year ago, we talked about how do we build out these solutions, because the doctors are going to fall under pressure, and that what's going to happen is these big companies have all these resources and all this infrastructure and all this money, and that if we don't build out some solutions for them, the big companies are going to come in and steal their patient. And this work's been being done for, what you're about to see this afternoon is Erica and her team have done a ton of work here over the last year plus. And it was this crazy COVID-19 virus that got us to bring it to market in the way we did. Humbly, I'd tell you that we were going to bring it out at Vision Expo East, and that we were going to offer solutions, and whether it was data or analytics or validation of benefits or direct-to-consumer model or free freight or whatever the heck we were bringing out, there was all things tied to it that when you won, we won, because we go the way you go, and that we thought we'd commercialize this stuff and operationalize this stuff. But then this hit, and it was such a wake-up call that when your business shut down, my business shut down. And we quickly realized that we had to bring this stuff to you, and we had to support you better than ever, and it had to be at no incremental cost, and that we had to rally around you because you needed us. And so that's what we're attempting to do. And while certainly we're not perfect, my promise to you is we're going to continue to bring this stuff to market. We're going to try really, really, really hard to be, to be the best partner we can be. And I'm gonna part by saying whether you partner with ABB or whether you partner with somebody else, I think that's okay. But when we do fully come back, you are going to need a partner. And the way I would pick that partner, if I were you, is I'd make sure they weren't competing with me. I'd make sure that they weren't trying to steal my patient and try to make it their consumer, because that's what's happening to you right now, right? When you shut down, everybody in the world is trying to steal your patient. And that just gets me so incredibly upset. It gets me so frustrated. But on top of it all, more motivated than ever. So I'm going to hand this over to Erica to kick off a really good afternoon here. Nice. We got about a nice 45 minutes of stuff that we're trying to bring to the market, and then of course we're going to end with some Q&A. So Erica, take it away.
Absolutely. So thank you, Tom. So gosh, what a lead-in. Guys, I acknowledge this is an incredibly scary time. Don't think it's lost on anyone at ABB how scary it is, and being responsible and the leader for business solutions as well as for the entire strategy of the business, it is it's really scary. It's scary for me as well. And our days look a lot different than they used to, both at ABB and I know for each of you on the phone. The real benefit of the place that I get to sit is that I am humbled by the amazing work that ABB is doing every single day. And I can promise you, I've worked at many Fortune 500 companies, and I can promise you that the people in the trenches every day at ABB that I have the blessing of working alongside are just killing themselves. They're working so hard. They're fighting so hard to do what's right by all of you on this phone and the countless others who are out there working really hard to support patients in eye health right now. So it's super scary for all of us. I acknowledge that. It's different for all of us. And I just want you to know that we are really burning the midnight oils to try to, and have been, as Tom mentioned, working on this for the better part of a year, bringing this to you now at frankly relatively low or no cost, so that we can really try to lift you up and support you to the best of our ability right now. So this crack team at ABB has been working on how can we help you increase your revenue, decrease your costs, and launch solutions that can help you do that. And so I'm really, really proud of the work that we've been able to do. I'm really, really hopeful that you all who are sitting maybe more in the back seat of your chair right now can lean forward, get your pens and pencils out right now. And I would just ask you to think about how your recovery can start now, how all of our recovery can start right now. It's, you know, at least in my time zone, it's 3:08. I know earlier for many of you on you know, the 20th, and it is a great day for this recovery to start. And I hope that we are able to offer you some solutions in which you guys can use those pens and paper and really craft the beginnings of a recovery plan, because I really truly believe, and I'd like to activate all of you to consider how our recovery together can start right now. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to the fantastic Tim Aiken, who's going to talk us through a little bit about what are those details and how we can get each of us working together to start that recovery. So Tim, I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Erica. Yeah, all of us at ABB are passionate about helping you in every way possible during this very difficult time for all of us. And the focal point of our time today is really going to be centered around sharing some relevant and actionable strategies, as well as providing some resources to you that are going to help provide an immediate impact to help you communicate with your patients and provide ongoing service, even if your office is currently closed right now. I just want to remind everyone, as Frank mentioned, if you have any questions throughout the webcast, please feel free to type them in to the question section of the toolbar, and we'll be more than happy to answer them. So COVID-19, it's a universal disruption for all of us. It's been inescapable, and it's affected almost all of us, both personally as well as in business. And right now, it's a critical time in our optical industry, particularly for independent eye care practices. From the massive declines that we're seeing in eye care exams, to furloughed employees, to strained practice cash flow, things have been tough. And while some offices are still open, we know there are many more that are closed, and the business landscape continues to change on pretty much a daily basis. At the same time, many patients still have eye care needs or simply need contact lenses, and they're looking for a way that they can get them. So the good news is that we're here to help all of you maintain the ability to employ strategies for staying in close communication with your patients and providing them with the products they need delivered directly to their home, even if your office is currently closed or your hours are restricted. In rapid response to the known and growing industry challenge the pandemic's brought forth here, ABB Optical Group has created our ECP Virtual Resource Center. This hub of resources was developed to help you and your practice continue to communicate with and serve your patients, as well as on into the future. And I know that there are some other resource centers that are out there right now. I've taken a look at many of them myself to see, and I know there's a lot of good information out there for you right now. For many, I think it's a challenge of trying to sort through some of that to see, what's useful for me, what's applicable for me. Much of it are things that either the government is bringing forth or state or local regulation type information, basic industry eye care information. But what we've tried to do is really put information in here that's broken down into 3 areas that provide really actionable things to help you keep the business flowing right now. So our hub consists basically of 3 areas: patient outreach and retention tools to help you stay connected and utilize technology to continue to meet your patients' needs. Our ECP education and outreach information to help you stay well informed of opportunities and best strategies in the ever-changing landscape. And practice process and strategies to help you plan for the future and create a recovery plan for when we come out of this current market situation. So this presentation is going to touch on some of the most relevant areas to helping you proactively communicate and meaningfully engage with your patients in a way that really levels the playing field with all the mass merchants, online retailers, and other companies, as Tom said, who are actively enticing them to purchase their eye care products from their business instead of from your office. So the key takeaway, as Tom and Eric said earlier, is really to provide resources and strategic assistance to help you in the areas such as continuing to provide products and services, generate practice revenue, enhance your cash flow, and receive training and develop practice recovery plans. So despite the many challenges that are present for all businesses today, there are many independent eye care practices that are actually managing through these difficult times by implementing some very specific strategies. So we want to share some of those with you today. As it relates to patient outreach and retention, these strategies include implementing direct-to-patient shipping for patients who place orders over the phone from the office, setting up and communicating a practice web store where patients can go to order or reorder their contact lenses, providing patients with the option of selecting an automatic shipment subscription type service, and all these efforts must be implemented and fortified with a strong patient communication plan. So I'd like to review the resources available to you in the patient outreach and retention section of our hub. So by now we've all seen the online retailers doing massive campaigns to grab business from contact lenses to frames. And like it or not, you're actively competing with these online retailers this very minute. In the past few weeks and even days, I continue to see more and more ads on TV and social media, and seems like everywhere. Maybe I'm just more sensitive to it right now, but I've not only seen those, I've also been receiving more emails than ever before from eye care retailers. So the question is, what can independent ECPs and ECPs do to combat that challenge? So the first thing that always comes to mind for most is to have a good, sound defensive strategy. And that's very important. But it's just as important to put an aggressive offensive strategy in place and to do it as quickly as possible. Having a balanced strategy is the best way to go, and it's what we've seen from the practices that are managing through this time successfully execute. So to put it more specifically, I want to say it's mission critical right now for your practice to both fulfill patient needs, as best as you possibly can, as well as proactively engage your patients every week to let them know you're still available to serve them in the most convenient way that's possible. So we're here to help you keep your patients from basically looking or buying elsewhere. So the first best practice I want to share with you right now is embracing and promoting direct-to-patient shipping. This is a very easy and effective way to offer convenience for your patient and maximize efficiency and profitability for your practice. While we know we'll all hopefully be opening doors again soon and seeing patients live sooner than later, we have to consider the most convenient option for your patient's delivery of their contact lenses right now, especially if you happen to have one of the offices that's closed. So we're pleased to provide direct-to-patient shipping options on your behalf, so the order coming in can easily be set to deliver directly from ABB to your patients. Direct-to-patient shipping can be utilized from your ordering screen on abboptical.com. So as you log in with your secure customer login and you go in to place an order, you'll see that at the bottom of the screen here under order type. I'll zoom in on this here. After you select order type, this is where you select ship to patient. And in terms of necessary information, there are only a few fields required to put into the DTP secure patient directory. So entering the patient's name, putting in the patient date of birth, or really any date will work. The patient ID is optional next to it. The email isn't mandatory, but most practices are putting it in just so they can have it for future patient notifications, especially if they're putting in a web store. And the prescription date, which will populate, but you have the option of extending it or changing it if you wish. And from there, it's just entering the patient's product information in, as you always do, and the address that you want to ship it to. So it's that easy. And by offering direct-to-patient shipping, you've just provided convenience to your patient and kept them purchasing from your practice. So to help promote this option right now, we want you all to take advantage of our new direct-to-patient shipping program. Many of you may already be aware of this program and probably are, but if you're not, ABB is now offering free shipping on 2-box or more direct-to-patient orders. To make this really work, however, it's important to let your patients know about this by sending the information out on all your platforms, your website, your social media channels, email, and of course mentioning it to them on personalized phone calls. In addition, you can even text or email them via your EHR system or through solutions like Weave or Solution Reach or Demand Force or any of those if you have those. On average right now, online retailers are reaching out to your patients up to 2 times per day. That's what we're seeing. And the messaging is telling them, as I said earlier, not to order from your doctor and let us ship it right to your doorstep. So here's the thing. There are practices out there that are not losing patients and have kept their contact lens business pretty close to what it was before. And you can do the exact same thing by increasing the amount of communication you're providing your patients and using the free 2-box direct ship-to-patient program here to take your patient back. So for more information on this, I strongly encourage you to please reach out to your ABB account manager, and they can help you get set up with this, as well as assist you in creating a list of patients to start with. This information, by the way, I'll show you at the end of the presentation here today where you can find that on our website. So one of the big questions that many patients have if they hear that your practice is closed, if you have a message out there right now and they call in or whatnot and it says practice is currently closed, is how and where can I get my contact lenses right now? And by the way, if that's the first thing they're hearing, that your practice is closed, many of them are hanging up and then jumping to somewhere else. So I think the first message you want to be conveying is we're still here to serve you, even though our office is closed at this time. Our practice is still open to serve you. And one of the best ways that you can answer that question to the patient of where they can get their contact lenses right now is to let them know that they can order their lenses directly from your practice website. So we know there's many options, again, to choose from when it comes to web stores out there. And if you have one in place, that's great. But we want to make this an easy process for you if you don't have one set up, to get you set up quickly and going as quickly as possible. So to help you in this area, we're pleased to offer yourlens.com, which is a solution that can be seamlessly integrated into your website or used to enable your current practice website. Having an ordering link on your website will provide your patients with an immediate, actionable way of ordering and provide competitive pricing and offer convenience and really build trust so they can order from their doctor's office whenever they want. So whenever they want is the key here. Having a web store in place basically keeps your practice open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And most orders that are placed online are typically placed in the evenings, during weekdays, or on weekends. And those are times for most, even in good conditions, good market conditions, that's usually when practices are closed, right? So this gives you the opportunity to keep your practice open year-round. In this way, the patient's buying lenses that were prescribed from your office, not from an online retailer. You can determine your own competitive retail pricing, as I said before, and even offer your own discounts if you wish, so your patients don't have to think that they have to go shop somewhere else. ABB fulfills the orders on behalf of your practice, and we send them right to your patients so they don't have to leave their home while everyone's social distancing right now. And typical shipping time on this is about 3 to 5 business days, which is better than most online retailers, which can take longer than that. However, given our current market conditions right now, just keep in mind that when setting patient expectations, the time's going to vary depending on where we're shipping to. So it's important to make sure that we're providing the right expectation. As I said before, this is really easy. The setup process typically takes less than 30 minutes. That's how easy it is. So by getting you set up, getting the web store going here, and there's a few different ways that you can set it up, and we can walk you through that process. you can be up and going by the end of the day. So best of all, the solution's provided at no cost to you right now. So this is a free option to keep your practice open all day, all week. Right now, we've set up over 2,200 YourLens stores, I think it is, as I saw last week. So thousands of practices are still able to help their patients get their lenses and receive revenue right now to help with cash flow. So, so this is a great option for you to take a look at. Another piece that kind of goes along with this, one of the services that's available on the YourLens platform, is ABB AutoShip, which is an automated soft contact lens reordering service that allows patients to pay for and receive their contact lenses with shipping options of their choice. So this helps your patient by offering greater convenience, control, and flexibility. It also benefits your practice, especially as things get back to normal with improved efficiency, helping you get better patient retention, and even improve profitability. So it's important that you offer your patient services that compete with online subscription models out there right now. We all know as consumers how helpful it is to have this option, and further data is proving time and time again that the ability to kind of set it and forget it drives patient loyalty and helps you secure long-term relationships with your patients. Most of you are probably well aware of all the subscription models that are out there, and this gives you a way to have an option for your patients on something that's tied directly back to your practice. So just like YourLens, this is another service that doesn't cost you anything. And to have it available and just to have the option is a good, sound strategy to employ right now. So to help you get the most out of implementing these important tools and platforms, we've developed a library of resources that include turnkey materials to help you install and activate the technology that can be downloaded from our ABB ECP Resource Center. So this virtual resource center contains things like recorded installation tutorials, installation guidelines, benefits, best practices, and even a white paper with a real-world story of how a fellow practitioner was able to keep his practice open after it had a major fire and was closed down. And so he basically kept the practice running just from having a YourLens store during that period of time when his practice was being rebuilt. So, so you got a lot of tools and resources here, but in addition, you know, one of the recent Jobson surveys that we've seen shows that over 80% of independents are calling their patients, but the number drops off dramatically with the use of email or other social media platforms. Now, we've seen that number improving in the last couple of weeks, but it's kind of slightly growing, not at as rapid a pace as should probably be the case to stay in good competitive nature with all the other outside companies that are going after your patient. So it's really mission critical for your practice right now to proactively engage your patients in a very clear and consistent messaging format through things like texts or emails or other things to let them know that you're still available for them. They can still order their contact lenses from you during this time. So to help you with these efforts and to reach out, engage your patients, the Virtual Resource Center also contains several templates and messaging images that you can download and use directly to reach out to your patients, including social media content and images, e-blast templates and messages. So a lot of this stuff is pre-written for you, and if you wish to edit it or modify it, you're more than welcome to. But it basically helps you from having to create things from scratch here, as well as on-hold messaging, phone scripts, and a lot of other very neat tools. You see some of the images here on the screen are pictured, just a few of them, as well as that free shipping on us button, which is many practices have put right on their website to let their patients see that during this time. So to get to the information on YourLens, when you come into abboptical.com, you'll see a banner below. It says Open for Business, and that's where you can click to learn more about YourLens and AutoShip. And as I said earlier, please feel free to reach out to your ABB account manager as well, as they're very well versed in all of this and can help you get set up. The other two parts of the ECP Virtual Resource Center include a section here on ECP education and outreach. And these resources really focus on topics that pertain to industry trends right now, best practices, some recordings of other webinars that have taken place in case you've missed them. But it also includes our recordings from our virtual Vision Expo East sessions that we had several weeks ago. and which included a lot of our virtual trade show tools and resources to help you during this time. So some great tools in there. I'm not going to go through them all right now, but I just want to make sure that you all know those are available for you. In addition, the third part includes information on practice process and strategy. So in the spirit of keeping an eye on the future, just because your doors are closed right now doesn't mean you can't and shouldn't be planning for when they reopen. So this again, includes a lot of good information for you to kind of develop that recovery plan right now. And as we continue ahead in the coming weeks, we'll be adding more and more resources in this area to really help you as we move ahead right now. So I'm going to go back to abboptical.com and show you again where you can find the Virtual Resource Center, and you can see right at the top of the screen there. It's located in the red text there, and as you click on that and you open it up, you'll see that this is where the three areas that I just went through are listed. And as you continue to kind of scroll down the page here, you'll see the resources below. So as you come down here, for example, if you wanted to get some information on how to set up a yourlens.com web store, you simply click on the text right there, and it'll pull up the overview guide for those tools. And this is a multi-page guide that really walks through step by step. It has a lot of great information in it. I know that I've been hearing very positive feedback from all the doctors that have been using this, as well as from many of our salespeople that have been using it with their customers. As you continue on down the page, again, all of these things in the black text here are the resources available for you. You'll see down toward the bottom of the page is where that patient-free shipping guide is located. So if you just click on that, you'll be able to open that up and download a copy of that information. And as you continue, will continue kind of down the page here. Here's where all of the social media and text messaging examples are, the images, and many of the templates and everything are listed. And further on down then are the other two sections for ECP education and outreach and practice process and strategy. So that's just a very quick view, but we encourage all of you to log into abboptical.com and go take a look at some of these things for yourself. And if you have any questions about them or need any assistance with it, we're more than happy to help you. All of this is free to you to utilize. So I want to mention a couple of additional resources before I turn it back over to Frank. And one of the things that I want to mention here is we recognize the importance of providing actionable data for you at this time. Having that on your fingertips is so important to understand the breakdown of your practice, the purchasing behavior, and basic performance analytics as to how you're benchmarking to the rest of the market and things like that are really going to help you make better informed business decisions both now and on into the future. So if you don't currently have an analytics platform to do this work for you, we're pleased to offer ABB Analyze Lite as a complimentary introduction to some key features without a monthly commitment that allows us to show you what the power of data can do for your practice. So this is kind of a light version of ABB Analyze of the full package, but most doctors after seeing this then say, how can I get more data? And when you're ready for that, our full suite version of ABB Analyze really expands the visibility of providing information that will help you with identifying growth opportunities and help you efficiently and accurately track your practice performance on an ongoing basis. It also helps you do things like forecast future trends, benchmark, compare results among peers, both regionally, nationally, that kind of thing. And the nice thing about this with Analyze Lite is it's something that you can even pull up the information right on your phone. So it isn't something that you have to be sitting right in front of your computer to utilize. Again, the installation is very easy. It can be done in minutes. It's a simple download for the app, and it'll enable you to basically evaluate and monitor all the key performance metrics remotely, even if you're not in the office. So for more information on all this, please see the Resource Center or speak with your ABB account manager, and we'd be glad to help you out with that. We're hearing very positive feedback so far on those that have engaged with that. And then another area to stay vigilant about right now is making sure your patients are aware of any unused vision care benefits that they have right now. Now, this is an interesting situation, right, because as a lot of people are also concerned about their jobs, typically they look at their healthcare benefits to say, what do I have left, and do I need to use some of those before I potentially put any of that at risk? So to help you in this area, we have a solution called ABB Verify. And Verify is a software solution designed to increase your patient's revenue, your practice's revenue, while improving your staff's efficiency and help you to kind of identify and communicate to your patients on their unused vision care benefits. So that we know that many people aren't aware of the extent of their eye care benefits. And this service really meaningfully helps you communicate the information of, hey, you've got unused benefits. Here's what they are. Let us help you understand what the benefits are that are allowed to you, and let's help you utilize those. So it's also, as I said, not only good for your patient, it's very effective for you to help drive revenue right now. And I think when we get to the end here, if there are any questions around this, I know that Ram would be glad to answer them for you and demonstrate what type of profound impact that this tool has had for many practices. Because when you pair this with the ability to order contact lenses directly from your website, this virtual system can really be a powerhouse in engaging and supporting your patient's ability to maximize their healthcare benefit while driving their refill orders through your practice. So we've got another program here that kind of goes along with ABB Verify. So our goal with this program is to really get this powerful tool into your hands to help you, not only right now, but more into your post-COVID recovery timeframe. And implementation on this can be completed right now with no financial impact to your practice. So that's kind of a nice option right now to get engaged on this. And then you can use the tool to drive revenue for the practice. We're seeing tremendous ROI on this tool, and it can really be used to expedite lost revenue opportunities and go after those things and messaging to your patients on their unused benefits. It'll also help you streamline your eligibility and authorization process. So you can search from one location for all your in-network payers, and it really gives you that opportunity, especially when your practice reopens, to then focus on things like driving second payer sales and things of that nature. So this is a real interesting tool. I think we're just scratching the surface on this one, but as I haven't heard of an account yet that has implemented this that hasn't realized more success out of this than they expected going into it. So I'm going to finish up here with just saying, summarizing 3 things that we feel that every IECP should be doing right now. And that is, number 1, as we said, communicate with your patients proactively, and do it in multiple ways beyond just over the phone. Number 2, maximize convenience to your patients in ordering their contact lenses. So I think this is a trend that's going to continue to evolve as we go forward. As we get past this whole thing, convenience is still going to be important. How we serve patients and everything is going to change somewhat. So being able to offer things like direct ship to patient, having a web store, having a subscription type offering for them, even offering curbside pickup. I didn't mention before, but we've got some images and things on our resource center that you can use for that stuff on your website as well. Practices that have really made the biggest impact, I think, are those that have a banner at the top that really shout out to their patient, we're still open right now. We're still here to serve you right now, and we can get you your products shipped directly to your home. So, so that's number 2. And number 3, don't wait to start creating a recovery plan. Start right now. And creating that plan includes embracing new technology and maybe some different ways of thinking than we have in the past. Things like Analyze, things like Verify, things like just embracing technology to communicate with patients, as well as possibly providing services to patients through telehealth and things like that, are all things that you need to be thinking very seriously about right now and looking to put into your recovery plan as you come out of all this, because the practices that do so will be in a much stronger position when we come out of this than those that wait to do it later. Online retailers have been experiencing triple-digit growth, is what we've been hearing during the last month. And we want to help you compete with that. Over 500,000 patients have been served directly on our direct ship platform since March 1st. So that number is growing by the day, and we want to continue that on your behalf. In addition, as I said before, in addition to that, 75% of our shipments that went out in April have been DTP, And what we saw in one of the recent surveys that just came out last week was that I think the highest number we saw from the respondents to that survey was around 60%. So with many of these cases, you know, the ABB customers, those that we're working with, we like to keep them ahead of that curve. So they're doing about 15% better than what the average practice out there is doing in this right now. And last, as I said before, we're setting up a ton of web stores, and we continue to have capacity to do so. We have our full staff to be able to help get that set up for you and do it very quickly. It's really as easy as if you decide today that I want to get a web store set up tomorrow, we can make it happen for you. And that's a trend that's, I think, is going to continue to grow as we go forward. These tools have significant reach in the marketplace already, and so if you're not taking advantage of these things, I highly encourage you to do so. So as we've seen, there's an abundance of resources that we're making available to you. Some of you, as I said, might be thinking ahead, like, yeah, I might be able to use one of these resources down the road, but I'd strongly encourage you to get started on some of these things now. Don't wait. Every day that goes by is just one more lost opportunity that might be out there for you, or possibly one or two more lost patients that might be slipping through your fingers. So make sure that that you think about these things. Consider this stuff that we've talked about today. We want to help you proactively engage your patients now and be able to continue to serve in the best way possible. And we also are out here to help you in every way possible with all of our available resources, both technology as well as human capital and our sales team and customer service teams and all of that. So please let us know how we can continue to help you. We're here, we care, and we continue to believe that we're all better together. So with that, Frank, I'll turn it over to you.
Hey, Tim, Erica, Tom, thanks so much and great job today. Hey, before we start with the Q&A, with the new Verify Recovery promotion that Tim just shared with us, Ram, can you provide a high-level overview of the software and its capabilities?
Sure, I'd love to, Frank. Thanks a lot. Regarding Verify, there are two components of ABB Verify. The first component checks vision care eligibility and pulls authorizations when required. This allows the practice's staff to search for all your in-network providers, payers from one location. At a time when practices staffs may be shorthanded, this tool could go a long way in helping you recover. And it's demonstrated up to a 40% time savings in performing this critical staff of checking eligibility. A benefit of that as well is that it identifies anywhere from 5 to 15% of the searches identify a second pair sale, which is an opportunity for new revenue for the practice as well. So kind of a second benefit there. The second component of Verify is a messaging component that messages your patients that you have a clinical relationship with and that they have unused vision care benefits available to them. So as a result, about 5% of the patients that are messaged on a monthly basis will come back to your practice within 30 days, and they will generate an incremental revenue for your practice. So this segment of the tool will absolutely turbocharge your recovery. Currently, ABB customers using Verify averaged $20,000 worth of new revenue for the month of March alone. And those customers also averaged over 20 times the return on investment. So the tool is working. It does work for the independents, and we're thrilled to be sharing this tool with you and helping with the recovery. So at a time when revenue is down and teams may be short-staffed, this hits in both of those areas. And the recovery program, Frank, is quite simple. It's to help get your practice in position and prepare now to be strategic for your recovery. As such, we're offering ABB Verify for 60 days free. In short, that allows your first payment not to be due until July or when things come back up and start running again. Additionally, there is a 30-day out clause within this contract without cause. So we want this tool to work for you. We want to give you choices, and so we think it'd be a big help, and that's why we're being so aggressive with this recovery program. And lastly, we're also including Analyze Lite. analytics platform at no charge with this to help you benchmark your practice's performance and to allow you to be strategic in your recovery process. So kind of hitting the recovery on 3 different areas. So we'll be following up with everybody post this call with see if you have any questions or provide additional details when necessary. So thank you. Thanks, Frank.
Hey, thanks, Ram. So before we close, I know Mike Derry, our Vice President of Sales, would like to say a few words. So Mike, are you on, please?
Hi, I'm on, Frank. So thank you all very, very much. You know, we are so grateful for first taking the time to jump on this WebEx today, and more so for your support. I think you heard Tom and others talk about how, you know, there's so many things happening within the market, and, you know, when your business is impacted foundationally, so is ours. And ultimately, you know, we care about the eye care practitioners because that's how we built our business, and that's what our focus is. And you can see all these tools and resources have been built in that way. You know, I can tell you that, you know, as all of this has evolved, we've seen the online retailers just jump up way over 100% in sales growth. And, you know, all kidding aside, they weren't doing it like people were doing at the beginning, trying to hoard, toilet paper. They were taking your patients. And I want to say that again, they were taking your patients. And so if your practice wasn't set up to start taking orders or leaving messages for your patients and letting them know, they were converting patients into consumers. And the bad thing about that is that maybe your patient left for a few months and bought it somewhere else, and you just have to expect that 1-800 or any other company that's out there, whoever is in the industry, their goal will be to market and try to take your patients and keep them as their consumers. And our goal here is to help you compete in the marketplace. And that's exactly what all these things are. Ultimately, you know, we really, really do care. We built the virtual resource center for the eye care practitioners so that you have a spot to go, that you have these resources. And ultimately, we don't want you to lose one patient. Not one patient do we want you to have walk out of your practice. And so I'm hoping, and my plea to you is, please leverage these resources. Please reach out to your account manager. You heard that mentioned a few times today. They can help you set up with these different things. I'll share with you a story today. One of our sales people sent in a message saying that one of their accounts signed up with your lens, and within 30 days where they had been completely shut down, had turned it on, and had generated $6,500 in sales in 30 days. And so you heard us say it takes 30 minutes to set up. We can set you up. We want to help you out here. Ultimately, the other resources, whether you heard it from Ram or others, whether it's ABB Verify or ABB Analyze, we've tried to take the risk out of it. We've tried to give you these things. So please, just take the time to reach out to us. Leverage these things. If you don't know who your account manager is, you can call customer service. We'll put you in contact with them. But ultimately, we don't want you to be victimized by having somebody else take patients away from you. So we are grateful for your business. We're grateful for the partnership. And coming out of this, what Tom talked about is helping you get there faster. So this is what we tried to build here, is a recovery program. And you're going to hear more and more of this as the weeks go on. But let's not miss 1 day or 1 hour in this. Please jump on it now, because we really do want to help you out. So thank you very much.
Hey, thanks, Mike. With that, as we have discussed today, really think about your individual recovery process. Continue to develop your plan of action, and think about, what are your patients going to expect when they walk into your practice for the first time again? From the simplest to the most complicated things, what changes are you going to make to help ensure the health and safety for your patients, your staff, and for yourselves? So in closing, we will ensure that our account managers follow up with you. And again, we want to thank you for attending and appreciate all your support. We are here to help you get through these most difficult times and on your way to the recovery process. We'll get through this together. Stay healthy and stay safe. Take care, and we will close the webinar. And thanks again for all your support.